Hey everybody, want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever the heck you celebrate. For me and my family, it's been Christmas since I was a baby, and I'm continuing the tradition. So I figure I'd do something special in this episode. I don't have really a game I can really review that's Christmassy this time, just really didn't have the time to be able to put something into it, but I decided that I wanted to do a Christmas thing because, you know, it's Christmas time, it's almost here, so I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 of my Christmas games from my childhood. These are 5 random games from my childhood that I remember getting for Christmas. There's a few of them that I had a hard time picking, so it's not really the best. I can't pick favorites. It's like choosing which child is your favorite. The redheaded one. Anyways, just kidding. But seriously though, these are 5 games. I'm going to try to do it in a chronological order of when I got the games. There's probably some other games that I am forgetting, but these are just 5 random ones I picked that I do remember getting for Christmas from my childhood. So let's get this started. Having an NES as a kid, I was excited to see what Nintendo could come up with next. And loved Mario, loved the Mario games, and was so excited to get the next adventure. And when I opened my Super Nintendo, this is one of the games I got. It was Super Mario World. I'll tell you, the graphics and stuff at the time was mind-blowing. They still look good today. First time you got to ride Yoshi and go through all the different worlds. The cape power-up was so cool. Had different hidden paths. Just, there was so much to love about this game. Especially my little mind at the time was just exploding. Because, like, just graphically, like, it was just so amazing. And the gameplay was also so sweet. The music was great. Just everything you loved about a Mario game was in here. Mario 3 is still my favorite, but this one definitely comes in a close second. This is one of the best platformers out there, and you can play it on a variety of platforms, and I definitely recommend it. And this is one that I played so much in my younger years, and remember getting this with my Super Nintendo at Christmas and just totally losing it. I love it, and if you haven't played it, then where have you been? Go play this game. It's really good. Later on in my childhood, I became a subscriber to Nintendo Power, the coolest magazine out there, and they even sent me promotional videotapes. I got one on Donkey Kong Country and Pokemon and various others. But I got one on the Nintendo 64. This thing was mind-blowing. 3D graphics, moving around in a full 360 direction. One of the games they showed was a game that I got with the system, and I think just about everybody did too. And of course at the time I mainly just played platformers, dabbled in some fighting games, maybe a couple of beat-em-ups if they had like characters I knew like Power Rangers or whatever, but you know, this game, as a young child, it blew my mind. I even got to rent it. It was the first time I ever rented a console from a video store. So, I'm sure you guys probably know the game, but here we go. Super Mario 64. I wish this was my original box. I did find this at a flea market for $1. It's complete in box for $1. It's pretty cool. But seriously though, Super Mario 64 was one of the defining games of my childhood. I remember going through this game, playing it, looking through every nook and cranny. This is probably one of the only game I've ever completed, literally completed. I'm not a completionist kind of guy. I'm not the kind of person that has to get every single little item, every single little coin, every single little star. This game, I got every single star. I got to find Yoshi, and I was bummed that I couldn't do anything with him. Like, why Nintendo? I wanted to ride on Yoshi in a 3D space, but still. Like, there was nothing like this game at the time. And this is what defined 3D platformers. And really, this is what everybody tried to copy and try to emulate. There were other people that tried to do their own 3D platformers, but none did as good as this. And to me, this is probably the best 3D Mario game. I'm sorry, Galaxy, but kind of a little dizzying, and also I didn't like using the Wii Remote. Not a bad game, but I just really wish I didn't have to use the Wiimote with that game. But other than that, I mean, Mario 64, revolutionary. Loved it. When I got it for Christmas, I lost my bananas. Love it. I know many of you are a fan of a hero that wears tights. You know, runs around with a sword and flying with chickens and stuff like that. But for me, I never touched one of these games. And this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. As cliche as it sounds, I like a lot of games of all time that are cliche, but they don't become cliche till like years later. It's like, no fair, dudes. I don't care if you think it's cliche or not. One of my other favorite games, and one of them I got for Christmas and lost my mind over, was Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. yet another one of these games where it had like such an open world. It was so vast and you could explore it at the time. I never played an adventure game before, so this is what introduced me to adventure games. Going around exploring, you know, fighting these chickens, collecting items, buying things with rupees. I never experienced a game like this. Riding on Epona, like, you know, using the hook shot, just so many of these things. Just, I wish I had some intricate, deep thing to tell you about how wonderful these mechanics were, and they redefined how everything. No, I just love this game. This game is good. I never owned the gold card originally, and I was able to find it a while back, so don't have Majora's Mask, but I have this one. I really love this game, and getting it for Christmas, you better believe I was excited. And I love this game, and I played it to death. Good stuff. I mentioned before that I am a die-hard Final Fantasy fan because of Final Fantasy VII when I got my PlayStation. But I didn't really get to enjoy the game till like a month or two later because I just couldn't get into it at first. So I didn't really think it really qualified for this list, but there was one game that I wanted the most more than anything. It was the reason I decided to get a PlayStation 4. It wasn't Twisted Metal, it wasn't Banjo-Kazooie. Wait, Banjo-Kazooie wasn't on there, what am I saying? I mean, it wasn't Parappa the Rapper, though I did get that. I got it because I was like, oh, this might be neat. No, the game I wanted it for the most, and as you guys know, kind of love my Mega Man, was Mega Man X4. Got this with my PlayStation in 1997. Not this disc, this is a greatest hits disc, but I got this game at the time with my PlayStation, and holy crap, I was blown away with like the really detailed work in the 2D graphics. I wasn't one of those people that was like, oh, if it's not 3D, it's not good, or anything like that. If it's not 3D, it's bullcrap. No, I was never like that. Like, I loved games of all kinds. At the time when it came to platformers and stuff, especially 2D Mega Man games, and the first time you could play as Zero through the whole game was like, holy crap. I even had my friend, because I was terrible at entering cheat codes at the time, I had my friend enter the code to get the Ultimate X Armor X, which had the unlimited Nova Dash Strike attack, and it just looks so cool. And the one thing that I'm going to tell the story about me, and it's embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I was a kid, we didn't have like anything with AV outs or component cables. So, you know, we had this RF. We had no idea the PlayStation didn't come with that. It didn't come with an RF cable. So I got it for Christmas and I was bummed. I got a memory card, I had the games, but couldn't play it on the TV because I did not have a composite cable. I mean, I hope I said composite while ago, or else I'm going to look like an idiot. But seriously though, this was one of the games that really defined the childhood of myself too, because it was another Mega Man X game, and it was one of the first ones I owned since Mega Man X, and then some of the Game Boy games. But to own this on PlayStation and own it when it came out was something spectacular. I had a hard time between this and Mega Man X, but I knew for certain I got this with my PlayStation, and because I got it with my PlayStation, and this led me down a long road of playing PlayStation games, I had to mention, I had to bring it up, so definitely a classic. Alright, so I was a little bit older for this one here. I was probably getting ready to graduate high school, if I hadn't already graduated high school. I can't remember exactly what year. I knew it was Christmas because it was when the GameCube was launching. I wanted one so bad. I asked Mom for it. But the only one game I saw was the Rogue Squadron game, which I liked on Nintendo 64. And I'm not a die-hard Star Wars fan, but I was wanting to get that. But then a few days later, Smash Brothers, I was like, I really want that one too. Like, I gotta have that one. That's one I'm going to play a lot. And I was able to convince my mother, you know, since I knew she was kind of getting it, to get it. But of course, I couldn't have it till Christmas because that's the rules. But the one game other than Star Wars, which I played that a lot too, and that was a really good game, was Super Smash Brothers Melee. Now, I played the Nintendo 64 one. Never owned that one, always rented it, but this one, holy crap, this was so fun. I remember like taking to my cousins and playing with them, you know, playing by myself. And what was really weird, even though I was kind of a teenager, I still had the imagination of a kid, and sometimes I would pretend that they were like having like professional wrestling type matches where like they would all be in the Pokemon Stadium and they would all be like coming out, and I would make up my own storylines because I was bored at that age. I'm sorry, I'm weird. But I mean, this one was definitely one that stuck out because I got to play it with all like family and also just like so many memories. I just played this game over and over and over, and definitely one that I will not forget. Alright, so that's 5 games I had gotten for Christmas that have had a little bit of an impact in my life, and I've enjoyed these games, and they're still really good. So if you guys haven't checked these out, go check them out if you can. There's probably numerous ways to check these games out. And so guys, tell me below, depending whether you celebrate Christmas or something else, what Christmas holiday games have you gotten in the past that really meant something to you? Comment below down here, let me know. We got other reviews out, such as the Star Wars Battle of Terraskasi. I think I remember that right. See if this Star Wars fighting game is any good. Other than that, why don't you subscribe to the channel, check out more content here down below. And till next time, everybody, game on, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Memorial Day, Arbor Day, National Soap Day, whatever you celebrate. Be safe and have a good one. Game on.